By IMDb rating, audience score, and other factors, we are ranking all the new horror films of 2022. Each week a new horror film will be released in cinemas or on streaming services, so be sure to check back for the most recent fright flicks. Horror is a broad genre that includes movies with different levels of fright. A movie that helps a new spectator develop realistic expectations for future horror films while yet being frightfully frightening is the ultimate introduction to the genre. 10. The Retaliators. A 2022 American thriller action horror movie titled The Retaliators, starring Michael Lombardi, Mark Menchikar, and Joseph Gatt, made its world premiere at Arrow Fright Fest London. Musicians Tommy Lee, Jacoby Shaddix, Zoltan Bathory, and The Who are also shown in the movie. On October 21, 2022, The Retaliators had its digital video on demand VOD debut in the United States and Canada after making its theatrical debut on September 14, 2022. As he looks for explanations for his daughter's tragic murder, a respectable preacher stumbles onto a sinister underworld. 9. Deadstream. Live streaming at a deserted scary mansion, a discredited internet celebrity tries to win back his fans. His comeback performance turns into a struggle for his life when he unintentionally releases a malevolent spirit. Vanessa and Joseph Winter, a married couple, made their directorial debut with the 2022 American supernatural horror comedy film Deadstream. Joseph also served as the film's lead actor and soundtrack composer. The film uses a found footage style and shows the live stream itself. The story revolves around a disgraced content creator who attempts to revive his career by live streaming himself spending the night in a notorious haunted house. Deadstream had its international premiere on March 11 at South by Southwest and was distributed in the US through Shudder on October 6 to favorable reviews. 8. The Innocents. Eskil Vogt wrote and directed the supernatural thriller movie The Innocents in 2021. The movie had its world premiere in the Uncertain Regard category at the 2021 Cannes Film Festival in July. Little Ida and her older sister Anna have relocated to an apartment building with their parents. Ida has to take care of her sister earlier than one might anticipate for a child her age because Anna is autistic. She yearns to interact with her peers and meets Ben. They meet new people. The two investigate the basement of the facility and strange things start to happen. Little Aisha, who lives nearby, and Anna seem to be able to connect spiritually in some mysterious way. She soon starts talking once more as well. In a grippingly performed thriller that lingers long after the credits have rolled, The Innocents chillingly undermines youth's innocence. 7. Smile. Based on his 2020 short film Laura Hasn't Slept, Smile is a 2022 American psychological horror film written and directed by Parker Finn in his feature directorial debut. It features Sosie Bacon as a therapist named Rose Cotter who, after witnessing a patient's odd suicide, experiences a series of ominous and unsettling occurrences that lead her to think what she is going through is otherworldly. Kal Penn, Rob Morgan, Robin Weigert, Jesse T. Usher, Kyle Gallner, and Caitlin Stasey also appear in it, and Caitlin Stasey portrays the same role that she did in the short film. The worldwide gross for Smile was $216.1 million, including domestic sales of $105.9 million in the US and Canada and $110.2 million elsewhere. Although some of its jump scares were critiqued in comparisons to other horror movies like It Follows and The Ring were made, Smile garnered mainly positive reviews from critics who appreciated the imagery, themes, cinematography, and Bacon's acting. With a $17 million budget, it exceeded expectations at the box office, earning $216 million globally. 6. Terrifier 2. Damien Leone is the writer, director, editor, and producer of the 2022 American horror movie Terrifier 2. The movie is based on a feature-picture idea that filmmaker John Lee Leone started developing soon after shooting his debut short film, The Ninth Circle 2009. The planned movie's premise, which placed a lot of emphasis on a protagonist with angel wings, ultimately failed. After Terrifier 2016 was released, Leone wanted to make the protagonist a return. She would change into Sienna, who Leone refers to as the heart and soul of Terrifier 2. Leone spent 3 months crafting a character-driven screenplay in response to complaints over the original movie's alleged lack of a coherent story. In 886 theaters around the country, Terrifier 2 opened to a $400,000 first day take. After a $805,000 premiere, it went on to earn $1 million the next weekend, a 28% increase. Because of the film's modest budget and scant mainstream promotion, Variety referred to its triumph as a shock to the industry. The movie made $3.4 million in the first 2 weeks of release. The movie generated $1.8 million in its fourth weekend and expanded to 1,550 theaters, an increase of 795 for a running total of $10.1 million as of November 2022. Leone commented, "I did not expect it to create this type of splash or play in theaters, honestly, other than maybe a few art house theaters," when asked about the movie's box office performance. "I never anticipated this to happen or for it to gross millions of dollars in cinemas, but I was pleasantly surprised to see it snowball, the word of mouth spread, people falling ill and fainting, and it really take off." 5. Scream. American slasher movie Scream was released in 2022 and was written by Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt with direction by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin. It is the fifth movie in the Scream franchise. The movie is a direct sequel to Scream 4 2011 despite being billed as the series' relaunch. It is also the first installment since Wes Craven's passing in 2015 to not be directed by him. At the start of the final credits, the movie is devoted to Craven. Alongside returning cast members Heather Matarazzo, Roger Jackson, Marley Shelton, Skeet Ulrich, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and Neve Campbell, the movie stars Melissa Barrera, Kyle Gallner, Mason Gooding, Mikey Madison, Dylan Minnette, Jenna Ortega, Jack Quaid, Jasmine Savoy Brown, and Sonia Amat. The movie is set 25 years after the initial Woodsboro crimes, when a new Ghostface shows up and starts stalking a group of youngsters who are all somehow connected to the first murders. Similar to other installments, Scream parodies the pattern of reboots and legacy sequels by fusing the gore of the slasher genre with elements of black comedy and whodunit mystery. The movie also makes a point about the split between elevated horror and traditional slasher movies in the horror fandom. On January 14, 2022, Paramount Pictures released Scream in theaters around the country, earning a total of $140 million. Critics gave it high marks for paying tribute to Craven's heritage and providing insightful meta-commentary on horror movies, some even dubbed it the best of the Scream series. 4. Those Who Walk Away. Robert Ripberger is an American director and writer of the horror movie Those Who Walk Away. VMI Releasing handled the foreign distribution and theatrical release in the United States. Boo Stewart, a well-known actor from the X-Men, the Twilight series, and the Descendants trilogy, plays the lead in the movie. Nils Allen Stewart, who portrays the monster Rot Creep, is a co-star along with Scarlett Sperdotto, Grant Morningstar, Bryson John Steele, and others. A fantastic psychological thriller that is incredibly original and original in its own highly original way. The New York Times named the movie one of their best picks for March 2022. Max and Avery go on their first date after meeting on a social media app, but things go horribly wrong when they wind up visiting a local haunted house, the residence of the evil creature known as Rot Creep, which can ruin your body and soul with just one touch. Max and Avery start to understand that the trauma they both experienced might either save them or turn the night into a terrifying game of cat and mouse. 3. The Menu. The Menu is a 2022 American black comedy horror movie that was written and directed by Mark Mylod, produced by Adam McKay, Betsy Koch, and Will Ferrell, and based on a screenplay by Sate Reese and Will Tracy. With Hong Chow portraying his assistant and Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, Janet McTeer, Reed Birney, Judith Light, and John Leguizamo as guests at his upscale restaurant, it has an ensemble cast that includes Ralph Fiennes as the celebrity chef. The broadest release in Searchlight's history, it opened in 3,211 cinemas on November 18, 2022 in the United States. On January 3, 2023, the movie was made available on digital platforms. On January 17, 2023, Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment released the movie on Blu-ray and DVD. The Menu has earned $78.1 million worldwide as of January 17, 2023, with domestic sales of $38.3 million in the United States and Canada and international sales of $39.8 million. 2. Pearl. Mia Goth reprises her role as the title character in the 2022 slasher film Pearl, which is directed by T. West and co-written by West and Goth. The film also stars David Corenswet, Tundi Wright, Matthew Sunderland, and Emma Jenkins Burrow in supporting roles. The movie debuted at $3.1 million and made $1.3 million on its opening day, placing third at the box office. It earned $1.92 million in its second weekend at the box office, placing fifth overall. The slasher movie Pearl, which T. West directed and co-wrote with Mia Goth, is set in 1918 as a prelude to the events of 1979's Goth returns to the part of Pearl as a young woman attempting to make her way through a constricting farm life as both the Spanish flu and World War I wreak havoc on the planet. But Pearl has lofty goals and won't allow anything stand in the way of her achieving them, including leaving the farm to become a well-known dancer. Finally, Howard, her husband, comes home from the war. He's grinning and yelling Pearl's name with enthusiasm. But when he notices the bodies of Pearl's mother and father at the table, along with maggots and rotting food, his smile vanishes. 1. The Black Phone. The Black Phone is a coming-of-age supernatural horror movie that was made in the United States in 2021 by Scott Derrickson, C. Robert Cargill, and Jason Blum. It is a retelling of Joe Hill's short story of the same name from 2004. Mason Thames, Madeline McGraw, Jeremy Davies, James Ranson, and Ethan Hawke all appear in the movie. In the movie, a kidnapped adolescent makes use of an enigmatic phone to get in touch with his captor's prior victims. On June 24, 2022, Universal Pictures launched The Black Phone in theaters around the country. It earned $161 million and was hailed for its performances, fidelity to the source material, and screenplay. It was a critical and financial success. The Black Phone, based on the Joe Hill short tale of the same name, is set in the late 1970s in the suburbs of Denver, Colorado.